Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS25 news video. In this video I tell you everything that I know about the upcoming GPS function of the game. And that we will get GPS was already teasered before the FarmCon, and here we can see how GPS works when you drive the tractor yourself. And before it was at the down there at the right corner, down, just down, totally down, you can see GPS. Beside it we have a steering wheel. It was orange and maybe it will become green again. Now it's green, it's working, and as you can see, you see something like a course with these white lines. And what I didn't understand yet is whether you have to drive yourself and this course only helps you, or whether you this GPS is steering for you. And maybe somebody said it, but I didn't hear it. If you know this, please write it in the comments below. And we will learn about it definitely. The latest will be at release, when we can try it ourselves, and then we will know everything about it. And I will make tutorials about it, obviously. Yeah, but right now we can see this course, and it's making headlands that are big enough for the length of the vehicle, that you can have your U-turn inside the field and you don't need to go outside of the field. And yeah, you can see those guidelines, and I have another video. This is done, and the other video shows in the time-lapse how it works with the helper. So if you tell the modern upcoming helper, please work on this field, the helper uses this GPS function. And first it makes enough headlands for the length of the vehicle, and then it goes up and down and up and down. And as you can see, it worked really nice, and I show it again because with more information about it, it looks more interesting and different. So first he is working on the headlands, and yeah, you can't tell him make 2 or 3 headlands. It calculates the amount of headlands itself to keep it easy. And yes, to keep it easy is for players. I think I just let it run another time and tell you about things. This function with the GPS should be easy for the player. So it's not meant to be something complicated where you have to go to university to learn it, but it should be switch on and it helps you done. And therefore you don't need to calculate courses. The game does this for you. And yeah, it will be available for all platforms. It will be available for consoles, because this is one of the main questions from a lot of console players. Oh, this won't come to console. And then, as a console player, you should be aware that every base game function is available for consoles. There is no base game function that is not available for consoles. The difference is only for mods, because you can't use script mods and big maps and such. There are differences, but that is a mod problem. And then what you can buy may differ, so consoles won't get the collector's edition, which is very, very sad, and a lot of console players complain about it. Giants knows about it, but the functionality in the base game is always the same for PC players or for console players. The view might look different, but that is not a console thing, but more how much power your gaming device has. So if you have a very old, weak PC, the look of everything is not as good as if you have a very powerful PC with a very modern graphics card. And therefore there are differences for console players compared to the very powerful high-end PC. But this is not about consoles, but about performance. But the functions like GPS, they are available for everyone. Okay, with that out of the way, I talked about the calculation of these courses. The program, the game does it by itself, and the main aspect of it is to make so many headlands. The headlands are when you either drive a circle on the field before you start the up and down, or you make it at the narrow side up and down, and then in the longs, and then you switch directions, that you don't need to drive into the trees or into the surrounding meadow or road or so, but that you can do your U-turns on the field. And for this, the farmer uses headlands. And here with this GPS, they use headlands just circling around the field. This is one way to do headlands. And it does it enough times that the whole machine with everything that is in front and in the back fits into this headland area to make the U-turn inside the field. And which is very, very good compared to the helper that we had before, is that on maps you can place trees or rocks or other stopping things, buildings, really close to the field border, because with the help of GPS, the helper doesn't need to turn outside of the field. And that's a huge difference compared to all the farm sims before, because we always needed a lot of place, at least at the U-turn sides of the field, for the vehicles to make their turn. And when you let the helper work on fields that had trees or fences or whatsoever close to the field, a big part of the field wasn't worked on. And that will change with this. So I expect a helper concerning the field work, not this driving around on the map, but with the field work, which always was a huge problem with the helper. So I expect a helper that will finally work. And it uses just a totally different mechanism to calculate where he should drive. Before, the helper didn't know anything about headlands. And so here we see how this first headland circle is calculated. And this is the field that we saw in the video. And here we see an image which is a developer's view. So there is a dialog box at the left side which says Field Course Debug. As a player, we won't see this. This is only for the developers, that they can see whether the program got it right. It's something like implement width and turning radius and initial turn radius and how many headlands and so forth. This is the information for the developer to see whether the program does its calculations right. And we see this course that is calculated by the GPS program. So they don't use really GPS, but they simulate GPS. They know the shape of the field and then they start calculating. And first we see 2 rounds around the field. Those are the headlands. And then we see this up and down, and always a little bit of not a semicircle, a little bit more, so for making the U-turn, because the turning radius is bigger than it should be for the working width, and therefore it needs to go to the right and then around and then to the left and again. And you can see this very clearly. And in this this route, the tractor will go. And here we see it in a little bit different view. We don't see all this U-turn circles and so, but it's more or less the calculation for all the fields and how. We won't see this either. It is a visualization of how the different up and down tours are calculated, and then from this is the base in my imagination, and then from this information they calculate, okay, it has to go around here and then there and there and there and there. And yeah, I find it very interesting to see this visualization, even if we will never see it inside the game, but for us to better understand how it works. And what we got as information is only a little bit, I would say. So I hope we will get more information during the upcoming month, but finally when the game is released, then we can go on the field and try it ourselves, and then I will try it rather early in the game to make a tutorial as early as possible, because I think this is a really important new feature, not only for people who use the GPS mod in older farm sims, but also for all people who like to use the helper. I think it will make a huge difference. And you can see all those fields, no rectangular field here. And yeah, we on some maps, people that made maps that were helper friendly made maps with a lot of rectangular fields, and a lot of other players said, oh, they are ugly, they are not natural, which is true, but when you want to use the helper, you needed helper-friendly fields, and now this won't be a problem anymore. That changes so much of the player experience. If you like to use the helper, or if you never use the helper because it's so stupid, for both types of players, this is wonderful. Yeah, so tell me, what do you think about this upcoming GPS function? And maybe I missed some information, then please write it down in the comments below, then the other players can read it, because yeah, I'm obviously not the only one who is gathering and listening to informations. I try to get it all, but rather often other people hear some things from other sides, and therefore we can share the information, and in the end we can be happy and looking forward to the new game. Okay, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.